Welcome back to the second episode of the bracket reveal from the Rotag and Willy show. I'm Rotag. That's Willy. Willy, what's going on today?
Not much, Roro. I'm a little sore, and what's not from my gym workout, just like with all old folks, it's never something in the gym that gets you. I turned wrong in the car when I was looking out the side mirror. Right between the shoulder blades has got me. This is like, you could have a great workout, you could have a great run, and it's always something stupid that you get hurt with, and that's what I'm pushing through.
That's good, man. Hey, getting old, it's tough, but just like our brawlers that we're going to reveal in the bracket today, you got to power through if you're going to win it all. And so I'm glad you're powering through to make this show happen. We ready to reveal the bracket to the Brawl Nation?
Absolutely. Let's see what's going on in episode 2 of Brawl.
All right, so this is our bracket reveal. We're going to our very first region, down in the swamp, Gainesville, Florida. Had a little talk with the head ball coach and the new head ball coach and said, hey, can we have a brawl in the swamp? And they said, for you guys, absolutely.
I mean, who wouldn't want to see Emperor Palpatine fighting in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium? That is going to be a sellout. They're going to have to get the old lottery system going for students to get tickets. You got to call 18,000 times if you want to get that seat. Have that busy signal. Think that you get through, and then it's just more hold music. But we're excited to see it. I'm sure it's going to be a packed house for this brawl here in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium in the Gainesville bracket.
Absolutely, and we can see the bracket here. Really run down the competitors and their seedings, and then we'll give it a little discussion.
All right, so our number 1 seed on all these seeds are these competitors are randomly placed in their regions by a algorithm. So our number 1 seed in the Gainesville region is Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars. He's got the lightning, and he will be facing off against Sebastian from The Little Mermaid as the 16 seed.
Yep, I don't know if those claws are going to be enough. We'll have to see how the bracket plays out.
All right, our 8-9 matchup, one with no knockout potential there other than a Joker. 8-9 is modern-day Chuck Norris versus modern-day John Tapper from Bar Rescue. That's one that I got my eye on. That's a fight I would actually like to see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about, John here, but I do know that, Chuck a little bit older, but man, he had some sweet moves back in the day, and I think he's more than just talk, more than just an actor. I think he can put it together there. That might be a matchup to really look out for.
Obi-Wan Kenobi from Star Wars Episode 4 is our 4 seed. He's really old. It doesn't move like he used to. That first lightsaber battle with Darth Vader looked like 2 old dudes fighting. He's going up against second president of the United States, John Adams, as the 13 seed.
Yeah, I mean, this is a couple of old guys, It just happens that's the way the brawl works out is we don't discriminate based upon age. If you want to get in there and throw your hat in the ring and see what you can do, we're going to let you in. So maybe one of them will make a run,
All right, our 5-12 matchup is Cam Newton, New England Patriots quarterback, in his pads against 1995 John Madden. 95 Madden was one of my favorite in that video game series on the old platforms. Going up against Cam Newton, that's an interesting 5-12 matchup. Roro.
Well, I mean, Newton has the advantage here. Newton actually started his college career at the University of Florida, right there in the swamp, behind another Heisman Trophy winner, Mr. Tim Tebow, back there. And so, he's got a little bit of that home field advantage, even though, he left and then, went on to Deuce at Auburn and go into the NFL. He still had his start in the swamp. So he's a little bit more familiar with the grounds. Will that make a difference? Maybe not as much as the fact that he's a 5 seed going up against a 12 seed and has a lot more knockout potential. But we'll have to wait to see how it plays out. Because, yeah, John Madden 95, that was pretty good stuff.
All right, our 3 seed in the region is Robin Hood with bow and arrows. He's armed. He's ready to roll. He'll be going up against 14 seed Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. That could be a pretty ugly matchup right there.
Yeah, Shaggy might want to just hop in the mystery machine and just drive away now because, it's going to be an early lunch date for him. Robin Hood, he's going to just, put one arrow, in and it'll be done.
Moving on, we got Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation going up against Kramer from Seinfeld. That that's an intriguing 6-11 matchup, to say the least.
Absolutely. And we'll be interesting to see how it goes down. Cosmo, Mr. Kramer, he can pull off some interesting feats. So maybe he'll make the upset right there happen.
Lieutenant Worf, his background is in security. He's a Klingon. He can fight. I don't see that going well for Kramer. And then we have William Wallace, Scotland's hero, going up against Carrot Top after Carrot Top started working out.
That's right, and Carrot Top has denied any allegations of any extra boost to help it, himself out. But he made a major transformation from, a scrawny man to, a pretty beastly guy there, still a little crazy looking. So yeah, this was one where we'll see if all that working out paid off.
No checks for PEDs in the Brawl. I expect Carrot Top is going to be quite prepared. All right, our final matchup in that region is number 2 seed Neo from the Matrix going up against an angry elf. That could be a sleeper pick, but Neo is able to influence a lot with his powers. I don't see that ending very well for Santa's little helper there.
No, and this little elf came up to us after, the last Brawl, which took place in the North Pole region, and they actually had the winner there. Superman came from that region, and he ended up winning the whole thing. And so I don't know what the elf is so angry about. I don't know if he's a little underpaid for, past Christmas work that Santa kind of gypped him on or what, but he's angry. But all that anger, it's only so big anyways. So, Neo.
That's right. So that's
right.
Who would you have as your winner coming out of this region and your potential pick for a sleeper?
Oh, well, I don't want to disclose my winner yet. We'll do our bracket reveals at the end. But as far as somebody that could come out of this as a sleeper one, to me, it is Cam Newton there. I know it's only a 5 seed, but last time, we had, Conor McGregor, I think was a 7 seed coming out and made the Final Four in the last tournament. And so for me, a 5 seed is still kind of hard because there's just so much more knockout potential for the 1, 2, 3, 4s. And so Cam Newton in Gainesville coming through there, I think that could be the kind of a sleeper one, not, deep sleeper, but just a little bit of one.
I actually am going to go with Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation as a sleeper pick, as a 6 seed. The guy knows how to fight. He's got his Klingon code of honor, and I think that I actually have Cam Newton as getting upset by 1995 John Madden. So I think Cam is overrated myself. So my sleeper pick would be Worf in the Swamp region. But anyways, I'm excited to see it. We'll see how it goes down. Take
Absolutely.
us to our next region, Row.
All right. We have our next region up on the board there. We have our number 1 seed with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Mr. Willie, go ahead and explain the rest of the competitors in this bracket region.
All right. So we are heading from Gainesville, Florida, up north to the Mall of America in Minnesota. Heading up north, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Splinter, armed, are going up against Little Red Riding Hood's grandma.
Yep. Yeah. They're good guys, but this is a brawl. You've got to do what you got to do to win. Red's grandma, thanks for coming. This isn't just the, Wolf. This is the Ninja Turtles. They're number 1 seed for a reason. Let's move on.
All right, 8-9 matchup is modern-day Steven Seagal versus modern-day strongman from Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Strongman with the, army behind him and everything else. He does look pretty.
He's alone in the Brawl. He's on his own, but he is KGB trained. I think that's a potential sleeper pick in this region.
Listen, man, he gets up there and he shows himself on those horses and stuff like that. That is a old school man's man kind of a thing, that he tries to, put that out there. But don't we have to?
He's old.
Don't we have to root for Steven Seagal here?
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
That's where you're trying to root for him, but I wouldn't put it past, he's got some tricks up his sleeves, and he might be pulling a Joker, I would imagine.
All right, our 4th-seeded in the region is wrestler Triple H going up against fat Henry VIII. This is not Henry VIII back when he was in shape. This is Henry VIII after he's really fat, probably a few wives in. Got that stinky, festering wound in his side. He's not exactly in the best fighting shape, but he is trained. So that you got the entertainer versus the versus a fat middle-aged dude from the 1500s.
Yeah, and this is the great part about the Brawl is that we can have it be any person at any period or peak or low in their life. And so, that's what makes it interesting is because it's not just, them here or there. It can be at any point. And so, yeah, Triple H, I mean, he is solid muscle. That man works out like a beast. He knows what he's doing in combat and stuff like that. He's been, through it all. And so, yeah, Henry VIII, not in best shape. This one's got to be Triple H all over.
All right, next matchup, the 5-12 is 5 baseball umpires going up against former Packers nose guard Gilbert Brown in modern times.
Oh, Gilbert Brown maybe in his prime, that would be a beast. Now, I haven't seen him, but, I imagine he's still up there, 330 plus probably. You normally don't get into better shape when you quit the NFL, normally. So, yeah, 5 baseball umps, that's a numbers game right there, and they've got the numbers. So, Gilbert, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, Gilbert is used to taking on double and triple teams in the middle of that Packers defense, but against 5, that's pretty difficult. Moving on, our 3 seed is Dom Toretto from the Fast and the Furious series going up against young Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars Episode 1 as the 14 seed.
Now, how old was Anakin there? Like 10?
He's like what, 9? I want to say he's 9. And Queen Amidala is 14 in that first movie.
Yeah, and so he doesn't quite have his powers there going. This isn't the guy that made the Final Four run in the last bracket. And so no, Dom Toretto, started out just hijacking DVD players. How old school is that DVD players were the hot thing that they were stealing? And now nobody wants those at all. But now he's gone on to 9 movies, and that character has risen to whole new heights and stuff like that, crazy things. And so, yeah, young Anakin Skywalker, powerless right now for the most part, is just not gonna be.
Yeah, one of the more annoying characters in the Star Wars franchise, and he's could be in trouble as a 14 seed. 6-11 matchup. Ted Mosby was in our last brawl. Did not turn out well for him against the Cleveland Browns. He went back to the pub, got his buds Marshall and Barney, and he is going up with the 3 of them together. Ted Mosby, Marshall Erickson, and Barney Stinson will be taking on 11 seed former U.S. Women's National Team goaltender Hope Solo. Who you got in that one, Roro?
Well, I don't know if Barney's got a playbook designed, for this kind of a situation. He might just use his charm to try and lure Hope Solo. That would be his only weapon there, because Mosby, he's a joke. We saw it in the last tournament, knocked out right away. Smart that he went back and you got to admire the heart a little bit. He's kind of like he was always trying to find his mother, or his wife, the kid's mother. And he kept going and going no matter what. And so maybe he's going to be that way in the brawl. He's just going to keep going until he finally wins one. Probably won't happen. But at least he was smart and he brought in Marshall. Marshall, he could be a difference maker. He looks like he can, fight a little bit. Barney, he might be a little bit crafty, and maybe that'll help out here or there, and maybe we'll pull out a joker or something like that in the playbook. But, yeah, I just don't know if that's going to be enough to make a run. I like, the guys, but it's just not going to go well.
I'm pretty sure there was an episode that the 3 of them actually did get in a fight, and the only one who's got any skills at all is Marshall Erickson. But he's going to have a tough matchup against Hope Solo. I actually got Hope coming out of that one. Moving on, we got Jet Li in modern day going up against Tom Brady and a ball boy as the 7-10 matchup.
Yeah, Jet Li, he's got the experts, but Brady, his ball boy feeding him balls to hit Jet Li. I don't know how well Jet Li can dodge him. Brady's pretty accurate passer. Showed that with what was it, Super Bowl number 6 or 7 now. I mean, it's just he can hit his mark when he needs to. So.
And finally, what might be the most terrifying competitor in the field, one that will not hold back, a T-Rex from Jurassic Park, going up against Peter Parker before he got bit by the spider. So Peter Parker without any powers.
And that's a good clarification there, because Spider-Man, very different than Peter Parker before the powers.
Absolutely.
And so, and that's what, as we alluded to earlier, the Brawl can take people at any point in time in their, spot. And so, yeah, that T-Rex is going to have a little snack as he devours Peter Parker, and will continue probably munching through the field for a while.
All right, so that brings us to the end of the Mall of America region. So who do you think is going to be your sleeper pick in that region?
Well, if I'm going to have to go for a sleeper pick in this region, you know what? As much as I hate to say it, I might go with Putin here. I mean, he might just be crafty enough in that 9 seed. There's no knockout potential in the first one. If we get some slow draws by the Turtles later on, we assume that they're going to beat Red, that, Putin might be able to pull that one off and, make it to, the Sweet 16, Elite 8. I mean, sleepers making it all the way to the Final Four are kind of tough. But, yeah, he can make some things happen.
And we have seen it happen. My sleeper pick is actually Hope Solo. She has had some issues with some anger, some rage. She is a worthy competitor, and I think that I can see her making a run in this.
That's a very good one, too. All right, let's move on to the next region. And I don't know if you can see the bracket okay or not, or if it's covered up.
We're heading to Pride Rock for the next region. From the Lion King. Great place for a fight.
Well, and that's exactly it. We'll see what can happen in this region. Pride Rock, very famous movie location from the Lion King. One of my favorites as a child. I remember watching that coming home from a field trip to Disney, and one of the students had bought it, and we had the VHS. So that dates back to that old school. And they put it on, the bus. We had charter buses, and so it was playing on there. And so that's one of my, fondest memories going back there. So, all right, go ahead and break it down the bracket for us, Mr. Willie.
All right. So we got T1000, another one of the Terminators. Which one was that?
This is the liquid metal from T2, one of the most iconic, characters from the Terminator series. Just, somebody that was just relentless in trying to pursue John Connor and making his mission happen.
So this is the one this is when Arnold was a good guy to fight this.
Correct. This is probably the most popular Terminator movie there was, which was
Gotcha.
T2.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah. And
all right,
he's relentless, and that's what in that movie he was just on and kept going and going and going. And so that's something that could drive him through the Brawl, because it's a tournament. It's not just a single game that you have to, put in your best effort and you're done. You have to go in, matchup after matchup after matchup and win those. And so, yeah, he's got the relentless attitude. So for him to take out number 16 seed Pinocchio, I mean, I don't think there's enough lies Pinocchio can tell to get him farther enough away from Liquid Metal. I mean, Liquid Metal Man, he can grow his arms and nose just as much as Pinocchio can, and it's not just wood.
Yeah. So he's going down. We got then an interesting matchup of some old timers. We got 40-year-old George Foreman, and if I'm not mistaken, he was still competing for heavyweight championships at age 40, and he's going up against Carl Winslow from Family Matters, but Winslow's got a nightstick. Interesting matchup.
Yeah, I mean, you got a guy that's probably similar in age, the guys there, but Foreman, obviously the fighting experience and everything, but Winslow, he's a police officer. He's probably had to get into a few scuffs when he was, a little bit more walking the beat and stuff like that. And he's got a nightstick, So, I mean, it's hard to kind of go against, a guy with a weapon, I would think.
Oh, yeah. One of Chicago's finest. That'll be an interesting matchup. 413, we got Tarzan from the famous movies, going up against Tanya Harding. She does not have a nightstick. She does not have a club. It's just Tanya, and we'll see how it goes for her. But she's a 13 seed in that.
Yeah, if it was taking, place on an ice skating rink or something like that, that might help her out. I know she's got some, little issues that she had, in the past going on.
Yeah, I think she did take up boxing at one point, if I'm not mistaken.
She did, yeah. She did some MMA, I thought. So, I mean, all that will help a little bit. But again, Tarzan, her, it just doesn't seem like a fair matchup.
Okay, then we got 5 random TSA agents. So they suddenly find themselves on Pride Rock. They're going to have to deliver some enhanced pat downs to take on Tag Team, the famous hip hop duo. Their songs get in my head. That'll be an interesting 5-12 matchup.
Yeah,
5-on-2.
Tag Team current day, so not back in the 90s when they were, popular with their music and stuff like that. But this is Tag Team current day. They have, a new commercial out and stuff like that. Scoop, where it is and stuff like that. I mean, I mean, they're just in it for the money is what I'm assuming. They're just, the 90s money's run out and we got to capitalize where we can. And so they're doing crappy commercials and they're hopping on our show, which is far more elevated than a crappy commercial for definitely. So, but they got to win to make that money. And so, it'll be interesting to see. I just think, 5 versus 2, and it's not like the 2 are in great shape or, big time fighter experience or anything like that. So I know the TSA agents, will probably take care of them.
Yeah, actually a strong percentage of TSA agents are former military as well. So they're likely in better shape. All right, 3-14 matchup. We got James Bond with his PP7. So this is Pierce Brosnan Bond going up against 14 seed Doyle Brunson, famous poker player, still old in 2008. Not likely a good matchup for Doyle.
Not if he's drawing a 7-2. If that's going to be his cards, and isn't that what he's famous for?
10 deuce, I think, was his
10
card.
deuce, sorry. Yeah, 10 deuce. I mean, that's not going to be a good, start there. Bond, I mean, he has been from forever still going strong. I mean, I know we're talking about a certain one, but his lineage, his career, it's impressive. And so him taking down Doyle should be an easy one here.
All right, 6-11 matchup. We got Ross, Joey, and Chandler. Chandler got rocked in the last brawl. He went to get his friends, and he'll be going up against Richard Simmons in his prime as the 11th seed.
This is very similar to the How I Met Your Mother group of guys over on the other side of the bracket. And, one guy goes into the previous brawl, gets his ass handed to him, and then he comes back with, a couple of his bros thinking they're going to do something. Although I'm not so sure that he has as much help because Marshall, I think, can fight. Joey, maybe, but Ross. No. I don't think – I mean, Chandler should have jumped shows and gone and found another cast of characters to come help him because I don't think that they're going to be that much. I mean, it's 3 of them, so it's still got numbers, which always is an advantage itself. But this might be an upset in the making with Richard Simmons, kind of a zany guy, but, pretty athletic, and stuff like that. And, that's what he's known for. So he might be able to, take out the 3 of them.
All right, moving on. We got our 7-10 matchup. Modern day Jean-Claude Van Damme going up against Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. And as a Packers fan, I am rooting for Van Damme here.
Okay.
Like that little twist there, Mr. Aaron Rodgers and his holdout right now.
Yeah, we could talk about that all day. Sports Radio already has taken on that task for us. We got the original Power Rangers, the 2 seed, going up against another character of Family Matters. We found something in the same bracket, Steve Urkel.
Wow, this could get interesting if Urkel was to make a magical run here and end up fighting, Winslow in that, Elite 8 spot. And so I don't know if it'll happen. I mean, he would need to get some serious look to be able to overcome that bracket. But yeah, Power Rangers, there's 5 of them, 1 Urkel. I mean, and this is not Stefan Urkel, even if it was. I don't think that makes a big difference anyways.
It does not. All right, who do you got as the sleeper in this region, Roro?
All right, well, my sleeper in this region is going to have to be actually Carl Winslow with that nightstick, coming in at the 9 seed again. He's got, kind of an upset. I don't know if he can get past the T1000. To me, that would be his toughest matchup just because of the relentlessness of the T1000. But man, Winslow, one of the favorite sitcom dads there, good guy, trying to instruct, Eddie and Laura and making sure that they go on the right path. And he's got his nightstick. And so when you have a weapon, it kind of evens things out in a lot of those matchups. And so, yeah, I think he could maybe pull that off.
I got the 5 TSA agents. Again, a lot of them are former military. You got 5. You're fighting on an elevated position in Pride Rock. If they can somehow use their environment to their advantage and their numbers, they might be the few people who have a shot against some of these very strong competitors in this field. Power Rangers also are strong, but they're as a 2 seed, we expect them to do good things. I got those TSA agents. I think that they might be able to make a run.
Very nice, yeah. And that's something that, very well could happen. We'll have to wait until the brawl plays out to see what happens. Let's kick it over to our final region of our bracket reveal. And this one going down right here. We have our newest bracket. And some of the names may be hard to read for some of our viewers, and we apologize for that. We'll work on trying to clean some of the stuff up as we continue going on. But that number 1 seed, that is Captain America with his shield.
Oof. And he'll be fighting, all these competitors are fighting in the GoldenEye bunker, Severnaye bunker in Siberia, going up, and it's going to be cold up there, but the bunker will be nice and warm. And Captain America with that shield, his first round matchup is 16 seed C-3PO.
Yeah, and I mean, as you mentioned that this is happening in the GoldenEye bunker, man, James Bond kind of wishes maybe he was in this region, get a little bit more home field advantage there. Maybe would have been a 2 seed or 1 seed instead of a 3 seed there. But yeah, Captain America, C-3PO. I mean, you talked about Anakin earlier. I mean, C-3PO is another character that's not well liked, not well versed in, doing much of anything combat wise. So, unless he gets lucky and, trips over something and it happens to Captain America right in the wrong spot or something like that, it's just not going to go well. I mean, that should be a quick one.
Okay, 8-9 matchup. Jackie Chan, modern day Jackie Chan. So he's old. He's going up against 3 random dudes from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie Chan versus them. That's why it's an 8-9 matchup, because while he is old, he's got much more martial arts experience than just 3 random guys from Buffalo Wild Wings. They might have already had a few beers in them and stuff like that. So, while they might be able to take a few more punches and not notice that they're hurting, it's not going to be the best accurate punches. And Chan probably still can move a little bit, I would imagine.
True. But you don't know you have no idea which 3 guys you're going to find out of Buffalo Wild Wings. So that was an interesting matchup.
Well, I don't really go to Buffalo Wild Wings to pick up guys, so you're right. I don't really know.
Uma Thurman is the 4 seed for her character from Kill Bill, going up against Carrot Top before he started pumping iron.
She's going to make quick work of him. I mean, that is one vicious character. If you've seen those movies, she goes nuts. And so, yeah.
He could kill people with anything as a weapon. If she'll find whatever is within reach, and she will demolish poor Carrot Top here, I think.
Yeah, and there's stuff in that bunker she will get a hold of, and it will be ugly.
Moving on, our 5-12 matchup is Disney's Mulan going up against social media personality Ninja.
Yeah, Ninja, big streamer. He's got his stream on Twitch. Actually went over to Mixer before that shut down, and then back to, Twitch and, popular and stuff like that. But while he's very good at video games, I don't see him as an actual fighter in Brawl, taking place in this bunker. You got to actually have the real physical skills and not just the, muscle memory of the, computer programming. So, yeah, shout out to Ninja, but Mulan's going to kind of take him over.
That's right. Moving on, we got Captain Planet as our 3 seed going up against Screech from Saved by the Bell. Maybe Screech can take the example of Mr. Belding, who was a surprise winner in his first round matchup as a 14 seed. But Captain Planet, tough competitor.
Yeah, you wonder if Planet reached out to Lannister and said, "Hey, what's going on with these Saved by the Bell people? Is there, what happened? How did he, catch you off guard and stuff like that? Did he reach out just like you were saying? Did Screech reach out to, Belding and to try and get some help? Captain Planet, man, he summoned when the Planeteers, Earth, Wind, Fire, Water, and Heart come together, and so he's just got a lot of strength there. I don't think that this will turn out well for Screech.
Moving on, we've got Sonny Corleone, the heir apparent in The Godfather. A lot of rage, a lot of fighting capacity. He might be underseated as a 6, and he's going up against a random family's golden retriever.
Ooh, another animal in this one, not quite nearly as powerful as the T-Rex in the other region, so this one probably is not as intimidating.
7-10 matchup, we got Julius Caesar, Emperor of Rome, going against Baby Dumbo.
Our third animal in this region, Baby Dumbo. It's an elephant, but, I don't know. Caesar seems to be able to, handle himself. And again, it's just a baby elephant. So, I don't see that being much of a problem.
Moving on, our final matchup in the bunker, we got General Patton with a Thompson going up against Captain Crunch.
Yeah, I mean, Captain Crunch, he better just get back to breakfast cereals. He just, this is not his round to be in. Although he is a captain, captain general. I don't know, all the military and police rankings and that kind of stuff. How much further apart they really are. Because, 2 and 15 seems really far apart, but I don't think they're really that far apart.
Patton's got a Thompson.
Listen, I'm trying to give him, something for captain. It's tough. The dude's a little guy from cereal. What do you want from me? All right. Come on.
Well, we'll see how that matchup turns out. That closes our final region. Who do you have as a potential upset pick in the GoldenEye bunker?
This is tough because I don't really see any of our underdogs in this region really doing that well. I don't think that they have really great matchups to me. If I had to pick one out of them, to me, maybe Caesar, just because, he can get by Dumbo pretty easy, I would hope. And then, like you said, Patton's got, his gun. It's a little bit, iffy, but, Caesar, he's had that training. He's been, a fighter. He knows that kind of stuff. So he might be able to overcome that. So that would be maybe the only one. But to me, it's a really tough region to come out from, below there.
Yeah, now here I have another 6 seed as a potential upset pick. I don't have him going past Captain Planet, but this was the toughest matchup for me to pick. Sonny Corleone, if you have watched The Godfather, you can see the kind of rage that he has. I see him as a potential making a deep run in this bracket if he can get past the dog and then Captain Planet. Maybe throw some pollution at him.
And you make a good point there. It's not necessarily that you would pick these people, but it's like, who could you see, making this possible run? And so that's a good way to make sure that, our Brawl Nation understands that is not that we already picked these guys to go far, to make the Final Four and so that, because again, the cards, the advantages for the knockouts are so high for the, 1 seeds and 2 seeds and such. And we saw that in the last one that, I think they were all 1 or 2 seeds except for McGregor, and so it's only have 25
seeds and McGregor.
Somebody's not a 1 or 2 seed so far. And that's not good for these other competitors, but making a run into the Sweet 16, Elite 8, like that. Yeah, those can happen. So I don't know if we'll see another Cinderella story such as McGregor in this bracket.
All right, Roro, go ahead and tell me who you have as your Final Four.
All right, well, here is my bracket, the way that I see things rolling down here.
I see those are aren't those my picks? Yeah, those are my picks.
Are your picks, and those are your picks. Fantastic. All right. I have done an incredible job of putting in the right slides there. I am so impressed with myself. All right, so I will read my picks, even though it will show Willie's on the screen. prep work. You know, kids stay in school, make sure you do your prepping the right way. Always proofread before you do that. Not a good habit of mine. All right, so I'm looking at my picks on my screen anyways. I know you guys can't necessarily see that. And so it'll be a little bit tougher for you guys there, but I will go ahead and go through mine anyways. So for me,
Yeah, just put up the last region, Roro. Go ahead and put up the last region.
put up the last region. Just leave that on
Yep.
the screen instead of your picks
Yep.
there.
Just leave it there for now.
All right, there we go. See, we should have had you go over your picks, and then I could have edited that stuff into there. But all right, my picks so far. We get back on track here a little bit. To me, making a deep run. I know that, you know, in the first one I had talked about Cam Newton, but I actually have Chuck Norris making a pretty deep run in the first one, going ahead and making it into the Elite Eight there. However, he's going to get knocked out by Neo. Neo is coming out of the swamp as the pick there for me. Moving down to the Mall of America region, I have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles taking on Dom Toretto in the Elite Eight, with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming on top. So I have them advancing into the Final Four as well. So I have Neo and the Teenage Mutant Turtles on one side of the bracket. My other side of the bracket has James Bond stopping the relentless T-1000 in the Elite Eight to join the Final Four. So James Bond, welcome to the Final Four. And then finally, in the GoldenEye bunker, I have in my Elite Eight the Battle of the Captains. Captain America versus Captain Planet. And so in this one, a lot of people are going to be picking Captain America, and there's no reason why they shouldn't. Other than it's the Brawl, anything can happen. I got Captain Planet rounding out my Final Four. Neo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, James Bond, Captain Planet.
All right.
Semifinals being James Bond beating Captain Planet versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who beat Neo. So my winner is actually going to be, in this Final Four that takes place in Smallville, James Bond. I have him winning it all. What are your thoughts about my predictions?
Very close to mine. If you put up my bracket now, you could see that I have a lot of similar picks. It's we were very different in the first Brawl. This one, I've got Neo emerging from the swamp region. If anybody can bend the rules of space and time to defeat Emperor Palpatine, it's Neo from the Matrix. Mall of America region, I got the T-Rex. I think that is just an unfair competitor. That's not even a fair participant in the Brawl. He's not going to show any mercy. None of those folks, I mean, he's going to be eating snacks all day, all the way to Smallville. And I can imagine a T-Rex in a shopping mall. That's not a pleasant sight. It's not going to, he's going to roll right through that region. He's not even going to cut down the metaphorical baskets because he's going to be too busy eating people. If you look over in the Pride Rock region, I have Bond, just like you do, emerging out of that region. And I have the same Battle of the Captains in the GoldenEye bunker in the Elite Eight, but I have Captain America emerging. And I have Captain America versus Neo in a championship. And finally, I got Neo taking this one down. The 2 seed, Neo, is going to win in Smallville. And that will be an interesting matchup if he does, because the Final Four always takes place in one of the settings of the winner of the previous Brawl. So just like Superman won the previous Brawl and the Final Four went to Smallville, who knows? We'll see where the Final Four ends up this time.
Yeah, and I mean, a little late, spoiler disclaimer. Hopefully you've already watched, season 1, episode 1 of the Brawl, and so you knew that Superman had won there. But yeah, we take a look at this, and our brackets are, we both have, Bond and Neo in our Final Fours, and so we both have 2 of the same, and we both have each other's getting knocked out in the Final Four, and the other one winning it for us. You have Neo winning it. I have Bond winning it. You have Bond getting knocked out in the Final Four and not making the semis. I have Neo getting knocked out, not making it in the semis as well. So, yeah, very similar with that going on there. We both also have the Captain America, Captain Planet, Battle of the Captains going down there. We see it going a little differently with me picking Planet and you picking America. But we got some great brackets. I'm excited to see, what goes down. My record was a little bit better in the first bracket than yours, but you did pick one of the Final Four people last time. I did not pick any. So, I think it's kind of a toss-up about where our picking skills are at this point. But Brawl Nation, we hope that you get a chance to show us your picks as well. Pop them up on Twitter, and we'd be excited to see them. Willie, hit them up with the Twitter so they know where to go.
That'll be at Rotag and Willy, all one word, at Rotag and Willy, ROTAG and WILLY. And you can also, if you're interested in advertising on our wonderful show, you can send us an email to rotagandwilly@gmail.com. Or you can, and as always, if you want to hit up our text service, you can send us a text. We'll answer your questions live on the next show. That's area code 540-204-7734. That's area code 540-204-7734 for our text line.
Yeah, and that's really what we want to get into, is getting you guys involved as being part of our, fans, and bringing you into our family and stuff like that. We're just excited to take part in this, just a couple of bros that have, some fun and discuss these things and stuff like that. There's so much entertainment out in the world, and so we know you have, different things to choose from, but we're excited that you're coming along the ride for us with this Brawl, and we hope to continue to provide some exciting entertainment for you, some laughs, some fun, some great conversation that you can have with your bros and your fun friends as well, and not just kind of keep it online, but take it out into your own communities and stuff like that, and get them involved and excited with it too. Once again, just represent my boy Pats, even though he didn't win the last one, always got to represent him. Excited for what's going to take place pretty soon, which is the actual Brawl itself, and seeing what comes down and seeing how good our picks were, and crowning a new champion and putting him into the Tournament of Champions later on in a future episode. Willie, final thoughts? Right.
Well, you said putting him into our final champion, but there are several fighters in this matchup who could be, they put her in the final matchup. And the top seed I see that happening would be T-Rex. Remember, all animals in Jurassic Park are female, and she is one strong competitor, I would say. That T-Rex is a monster, and Uma Thurman from Kill Bill is another potential pick there.
Absolutely. Well, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this. Leave a comment below if you want as well. We're excited to have you along for the ride, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you later.